So we were lucky enough. The first story we did was Launceston Football Club.
Yep.
And we did not. I don't know how you managed to get this right in the schedule, but it was draft night.
Good planning. That's what it is, mate.
No, look about it. Just great planning.
Very good planning. We had one night to do it for the whole year. And but no, in all seriousness, no idea it was draft night until the night, did we? Really?
And coincidentally, Launceston had 3 draft nominations who were likely to go in the draft pretty early on.
Yeah.
Now, Damo, you're our stats man, also known for Supercoach Edge YouTube channel. So the Edge,
the Edge. He's called you the Edge.
The Edge. What did those draftees go that night?
So McKercher was. They were both. It was McKercher and Sanders. So Sanders as well. His old man actually played at Launceston as well. So a bit of history there. But yeah, they both went quite high. McKercher was a top 3 pick from memory, and
I think he went number 2.
Number 2. Yeah. And Sanders as well went to the Doggies. So
yeah,
they're both really really good players and making a bit of something out of their first season, which is good to see.
Who's doing the best out of the 3 so far?
Probably I'd say McKercher. Having more opportunity anyway. Just it's a sorry sight with Sanders playing under Bevo. He's very Jekyll and Hyde type of coach, and
he's getting subbed off a bit.
Yeah, he's been subbed a couple of times, but what he's shown so far looks pretty good.
Well, Bevo did say that he's the most impressive 18-year-old to come to pre-season.
He did,
that he's seen. So he's seen some players in his time.
Yeah.
So he'll be. I mean, the Tassie team would have those 2 names on the whiteboard, wouldn't they?
100%. So I was gonna prompt you on the Tassie team. Do you already sort of pencil them in?
Captain and vice captain.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
it'd be massive deals to them. I think. Yeah. It'd be huge.
Yeah.
How old will they be when come Tassie Tigers this test?
Good point. When do they come in? 2028.
Yeah. So 4 years time. So probably 23 or something, maybe 22, 23.
Jack Rewalt will be already in there,
10-year deals, Well, there's even deals going around at the moment for LDU, and the Saints are going to offer 10-year deals. A 10-year deal? How could you not take a 10-year deal?
Yeah.
That's happening a lot now, actually.
Yeah.
There's a few players at
It's a lifetime sentence, though.
I struggled in Tassie. I don't get that much for a bloody burglary.
I struggle to commit to my phone bill. These blokes are committing to 10 years.
Well, it's easy when they're getting paid $900,000
exactly.
a year.
100% go for that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Tassie Devils logo, thoughts?
I like it. I don't think it's going to... I like it. But the jumper is not... I don't think it's going to be the actual jumper. I think they just did that for the purpose of announcing the team, did they?
PR statement.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But surely, like, when they... every team needs, like, a clash or a road strip, so they'll need to sort of...
I think that is... I think they said that, the logo... I like the logo.
It's good. Don't mind it.
Yeah. The AI generator's done very well.
Yeah. They went over to Disney over in LA and just thought, mate, can we have, the Tassie Devil rights? Was that the whole...
Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
Well, apparently as well, there's a story behind that. Apparently they didn't know that it was an Australian animal. They had no idea. They thought it was like a mythical... They thought it was like a unicorn. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So Disney's that good. He's thought of an imaginary animal when it's actually a real thing.
Good old Warner Brothers, So it's crazy. So they're like, okay, well, it's your native animal, so you've got the rights.
That's unbelievable. It had to be the Devils. It couldn't have been anything else.
Is that what the genuine confusion was?
Yeah, 100%.
Can you imagine the High Court of copyright, infringement, and Disney are fighting that they've created something that's real?
Yeah.
No, we made that up.
Yeah.
We made that up.
That's
actually
creature.
Real.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah. But oh well.
Exciting times. Yeah. Exciting time for the Lonnie Footy Club, I reckon.
Yeah. All week, Mitch, Mitch is the wheeler of dealer of us three, and he'd early on in the week he'd struck up a conversation with someone he knew from SEN Tasmania.
Yeah,
he's well connected. He's the great man.
The great man, 100%.
Very well connected. Just made a few phone calls.
And so all week with a bit of a morning routine, we'd wake up, tune into SEN, and pretty early on in the week, Mitch started calling Tim Paine, famous ex-Australian cricketer and captain, iconic cricketer, Paine dog. Very respectful.
Why did we? Why did I? Not we. Why did I?
Yeah, what did we? Don't lump us in with it.
Yeah, why did I? But yeah, I liked it.
And it's stuck all week. And,
Yeah.
you know, Mitch, you were telling us that you were going to introduce, a moment of introduction. You were going to say, "G'day, Paine Dog," and all these things.
All talk, no delivery or
No,
whatever.
how did you see it playing out in your mind?
I thought I was going to roll into SEN because backstory is we wanted to get a little snippet on SEN. So we're doing the travel around Tassie, Sports Station, we're doing sports stories, we want to get on. So I thought, well, I'll just make a few calls, as people say, and we'll get a little 5-minute segment on SEN Tassie, no problems. Hosted by Paine Dog. Who's the other guy? Brett Costello. And I thought I'd get on well with Painey, so I thought I'd call him Paine Dog and just roll in there and just full confidence. G'day, Paine Dog. What's happening, what's happening, big fella? Just go full alpha male. It didn't work like that, did it?
You panicked.
I panicked. I had nothing. And to be fair, my only excuse is it felt like we were in there for 30 seconds. I don't know about you, but we weren't really the main guest for the morning.
Bit of a filler, yeah.
We got on there about 8:52, and we're out there by about 8:54, I reckon. Just stuck at the back end of the morning show. And I can't remember the experiences that quick. I don't know about you. Painey did not want to be there. I think he had from memory, a toy gun in his hand.
Yeah, he did, Nerf gun or something.
Yeah, like a Nerf gun. I think he's more interested in shooting a Nerf gun than speaking to us.
No, they're very kind to give us this.
Yeah, no, they were. It was good fun, but I didn't deliver. It was all talk.
And the build-up was something that you
I was
needed
going
to
to call
see.
him champion, big fella.
It snowballed like over the trip as well, leading up to this.
Yeah.
And it was like, padding different layers. I saw you at Amy's wedding the other week. Just a random name.
Mate, good to see you again. That was that's a big power move, isn't it? Yeah, good to see you, mate. Been too long. Yeah, saw you at Amy's wedding. Yeah, it was a good night, wasn't it? Maybe I should have actually just had nothing.
You should have launched it. Yeah. You should have launched it. You had one chance.
I had respect.
That's right. We'll be back.
Dog.
We'll be back in Tasmania because there's a certain restaurant that we need to get to. Get back there. And the Edge, Damo, the Edge is also a Carlton Nuffy. How would you describe yourself as a Nuff? Like, what scale are we talking about?
Oh, probably off the scale, just off the Richter.
Full Nuff.
Full Nuff, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When did you realise you were full Nuff?
Probably when I continued going to the footy at Optus Oval, as it was back then in Princess Park.
Yeah.
And we were getting smashed by 60 goals like every single week.
Yeah.
So despite that, just still going. Support the boys, you know what it's like.
Yep.
And
How many badges?
How many? Oh, back in the day, geez, there's a few badges there.
Yep. Yeah. And who's your favourite?
Oh, back in the day, probably stereotypical, but Kuda.
Yeah.
Big, the Greek Adonis, as he was back then, as he still is today. Have you seen him? He can still play.
He could still play. He's run a kebab shop.
He actually, funny story behind that,
shop?
Souvlaki Hut.
Yeah.
That was actually my first gig. My first job was at Souvlaki Hut.
That is full Nuff. If
in
you've
Reservoir.
ever heard one. His favourite player was Kuda. And your first gig was at his Souvlaki Hut.
Yeah, not his. It was because he was one of the franchisees.
Oh, that is sensational.
He had it in a different suburb, but I was in Reservoir as it was then, and they ended up going out of business, unfortunately. But
really?
Everyone's probably seen the ad with Kuda in front of a green screen.
Went out of business. Did you give away too many freebies?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Right. Do you think?
That was good. Kuda was a good player back then, and that was probably about it. Because we were struggling big time.
Yeah, it was a tough time.
Now it was one of our final nights in Hobart, and coincidentally you decked yourself out in the full Carlton gear, ex-Carlton employee as a full Nuff would do.
Yeah.
You have followed an interesting Carlton path in your employment history.
Yeah. Collingwood before that as well.
I believe he hasn't taken the tracksuit off.
Still got it underneath. Yeah, exactly right. It's just
the Rover.
And we go to decide on this random pizza restaurant in Battery Point, I think it was.
Yes,
Beautiful part of Hobart. Highly recommend checking it out. We walk in and it is almost the Carlton Hall of Fame. Incredible. You've got posters of Kuda, you've got, all upstairs, Hall of Fame posters.
Amazing.
And
wallpaper virtually made out of photos and stuff they'd had with like former players and everything that had passed through. And I can't recall who I saw first, but I think I saw there was a framed jumper, I think it was. I was like, oh, interesting. Okay, there must be Carlton supporters, and looked to the right, and there's a bit of an area where people sit in, and a bit of booth, I guess you call it. And then on the wall is just wallpapered with, and I'm like, okay, there's Carazzo, there's
Carazzo.
yeah, there's a couple other players. I'm like, Jesus, this is interesting. And then went upstairs to go to the toilet, and on the way up, again, more framed photos and whatnot. So yeah, it was. I felt like I was at home, boys. It was good. A bit of slice of Carlton.
Well, it was amazing. We ordered 2 large pizzas and a garlic bread and said it'll be 15 minutes. Damo says an hour's fine. We'll spend an hour here. We'll pick up the pizzas in an hour.
Did Kuda bring it out to you? Was he hanging around?
If he did, I probably wouldn't have left. I wouldn't have left.
Put an offer. Did you speak to anyone at the restaurant and say what the
deal was? Yeah, so the restaurant owner, I believe, sponsors players, or in previous life sponsors a few players.
Yep.
So I think that's what the connection is,
Yep.
but obviously on the same scale of Nuff as Damo. So
all in the same Facebook group or WhatsApp group.
I don't know.
Is there a Nuff group? Do you have a Nuff group at all?
But as a player sponsor, I mean, you've got to be. That's not even I'm at that level. So tip of the cap to that fine chap there.
Amazing to go all the way into Battery Point and find a restaurant that's full of Carlton.
Yeah, it was a slice of Lygon Street in Hobart.
It was. Good food as well. Very, very nice.
Very good pizza.
I think they're sponsors of the Jack Jumpers as well. I think they also on the boxes there.
Also going well.
Also go. There you go. It might
Can't go much better.
It is the secret sauce to winning success.
Yeah,
you can delve into that edge.
We'll find out at the end of the season. See if it pays off. Yeah.
Now, one last thing on your Carlton nuffiness is your wedding and the wedding song you walked into. You've got to tell us that.
Oh, yes. So the wife, I'm very fortunate. Lovely girl, of course, but next level, she's also a Carlton nuffy. So didn't really have to, I mean, from during the footy season as well, don't have to twist the arm of, can I go to the footy type thing. She's a nuffy. Her dad's a Carlton nuffy, so born and bred. Anyway, for the wedding, we were like, okay, well, for the entrance, normally come in dancing and stuff and introduce the bridal party, and it was actually her idea, so I can't take all the credit. But she's like, oh, what about if we just run through a banner? I'm like, okay, the Carlton colours and stuff, and did that. And then she's like, why don't we just do it to the Carlton theme song? And then we're like, oh, well, let's have a quick look to see if there's any other variations that we can get. And it was a bit of a techno type twist to it. And you'll be able to see it on socials and whatnot. So ended up running through that to the Carlton theme song. And it ended up being, it was picked up by AFL. It was on Channel 9, and all of this stuff is just ridiculous because it's like, I didn't think it was that unique and whatever, but as it turned out, it was pretty newsworthy, and then it ended up being on the front bar, featured on the front bar, the segment, and then I ended up getting a call from one of the producers who my details was passed on by a guy I used to work with at the Melbourne Renegades, and as it turned out, he got us on and behind the bar next to Richo. So that was
how good.
How good is that?
How many hits is on YouTube?
I think the full episode's on YouTube, but it might be a few hits, but it's on. Got it clipped up on my Instagram and stuff. So it was good fun. A bit nervy with the bright lights, a bit different compared to this. I was it was blinded by it, but it was funny because I actually said more than what Ash would, where she's more of the talker, and she froze up, and I was like, in my element. I was like, here you go.
The pressure. I know how that feels.
Yeah.
I get that with Pain Dog. I get that.
Although
I get it. Full sympathy. I'm a chat.
So Mitchie, you weren't here. This was the last story we did, which was Ted Lasso of Tasmania, a great soccer story.
Yep. Incredible.
And we had some drone issues the entire trip.
Do you want to talk about the drone issues, or do you want to pass over that?
We'll skim on it. I hit a tree. Drone number 1 hit a tree. And rest in peace, drone. Actually got it fixed now, but rest in peace, drone. It hurt. It really hurt.
The tree just popped out at you. Great man. It was unlucky. It was a big branch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't it. Just a bit of clarity for listeners.
Yeah,
it
exactly
wasn't a
right.
Big tree that just rolled into the trunk of the tree. It was a big branch. So it was unlucky.
Yeah, it was stiff. So we said goodbye to drone number 1, purchased drone number 2, which did a great job. We got to the final destination, and the only thing in its way to come home safe with Victoria was these group of plovers. And we, shot the drone up. First of all, and I did a quick look around on the oval, and then we heard a few birds chirping over the left. They got excited about the sound of the drone. And then it was like a plague of plovers. It was like they were attracted to the sound of the drone. Like and it was scary. It was a very scary moment. It was a race to come back to base between the drone and the plovers, and we were just barracking immensely for the drone.
Imagine if we lost another drone.
I don't even want to think about it.
But it was one of those things, wasn't it? Like we saw there was a couple in the distance. We're like, oh, okay, well, they're protective, and if they're, it's mating season, whatever, they got to protect the nest. Saw a couple, and then as soon as you put it up and you put it out there, those two took flight, and like, okay, whatever, might have to navigate those. But then out of nowhere, from miles away, like kilometers away, they just all converge in this one area, swooping one after the other. Or like, but nerves of steel. If it was me, I mean, you've just lost your first drone.
Yeah.
Next, I'm in Katie's ear. I'm just like, just bring it back. And you're like, no, gonna get the shot. And you're like, all good. I don't know if you were blinkers on, didn't see the ones that were flying in from like the next state.
That is pressure.
Oh, it was immense pressure.
Yeah.
It was immense pressure.
Yeah.
But I do have a product enhancement idea for DJI. Is plovers sounded drones rather than the spinning propellers? Some kind of friendly plover sound. Just to let them know that I'm an ally. I'm not against them. And further to the point, a drone dressed as a plover, disguised as a plover.
So look at the plover's face.
Yeah, you're all confused.
I haven't seen that bloke before.
Even if they try and mate with it, that's going to cause
actually
a bit
quite
of
like the look of him.
During mating season.
They'll probably made it worse. They'll just all start chasing you.
I'm a willing participant to try this new drone, DJI, if you want to.
That'd be a headline, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would be, yeah.
Plover mates with drone.
And plover comes off second best from the propellers.
Jeez. This was probably I would say the hottest talking point of our trip in Tasmania. Do you want to tell us about the mango creams, the brand, you've got a fair idea of the history of the business.
I know a lot about this business. I don't really know why. But anyway, a couple of years ago, I worked for a finance startup, and I'm in this office through COVID, and the director at the time had these bars, these called Smart Diet Solutions bars, protein bars. And one of the flavours, the only flavour there really was called mango cream. He goes, mate, have a couple of these bars. If you're hungry, they're bloody terrific. And I thought, oh, geez, I don't really know the sound of mango cream. Anyway, fast forward about 2 weeks, I'm addicted to these things. These are the best tasting bar. I actually think there's some form of narcotic in them that makes you addicted to them. Because never tasted anything like it. Anyway, so I'm addicted to these bars. So I have plenty. I order them wholesale. That's how addicted I am. Anyway, so I thought I'd introduce you guys to them. And around Tassie, I was trying to find them in different shops to maintain my addiction. And didn't quite find them, but I found a few different flavours. The feedback wasn't overly positive from you two. It was okay, but they didn't share the same sentiment at all. Fair enough.
It takes a bit of time to, come to an addiction of something. So, we were only on day 2.
Yeah.
Talk to us at day 20. Probably would have been in the same boat as you. Yeah. AKA wanting to bust down the factory.
Yeah. Anyway, then the business went into liquidation. And, John, who's also addicted to them, thought, mate, we should put it in off and try and buy them. So once we got back from Tassie, fast forward, we haven't bought anything. Mm-hmm. We don't own the business, but we went and got a tour of the factory. And we walked out of there, we recorded 15 mango creams each. Sitting in a box,
I was going to say,
ready to be chucked in the in the bin.
Well, if they were in liquidation before, they are certainly in liquidation now.
So
after you've done a factory tour,
it was worthwhile. Once we had a look at the factory, we sort of worked out why they were in liquidation. There wasn't too much organisation. There was different weights and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, Smart Diet Solutions. Do yourself a favour and grab a mango cream.
The other thing, I think, we talk about, themes of the trip.
Yeah.
One of the ongoing themes, like Pain Dog, was definitely one.
That was
the other one
Katie's
was
classic Spotify playlist.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that made the trips go very, very quick.
You know what was fascinating when you drive? Just off topic, we're driving Burnie to Hobart. Not really one little roadhouse or anything, was there? Nothing to eat. Nothing.
No.
Not even one little shop.
No.
Jeez, we're hungry.
That's a real opportunity.
Do you reckon? That just
for a
seems
mango
like
cream
it's a
stopover.
3-hour drive.
Yeah,
Little mango
100%.
cream hut, sort of halfway.
Mango cream
There's
hut.
nothing else. There was not one bit, was it?
No.
Shitload of roadworks.
Mind you, we did travel at night, so we
Yeah.
probably
we
was.
missed the
we missed
mango
a few.
cream hut. That'd actually be more. I just found that, you go through Victoria and there's little,
Yeah.
bakeries and general stores
Yeah.
and nothing.
Yeah.
Well, BP's got a monopoly on the outskirts of Melbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You think that they would
Yeah.
see Tassie as an opportunity?
Wouldn't they?